Hari Om Karthikam. We can start.
Okay, sir. Okay, Hari Om, welcome all. Now we start with the prayer. Sit straight, hands in Chin Mudra. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply while exhale, chant Om 3 times. Om. 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 Gratitude to your mother. Gratitude to your father. Gratitude to your Guru. Mahabhutyunjaya mantra. Om Priyambagam Mejamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarakamiva Bandhanam Mrityormukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly rub your palms. Feel the warmth. Keep it on your eyes. Massage your face. Slowly open your eyes and see the palm with big smile. Hari Om. Welcome to 15th webinar. Now, this year of 11th International Yoga Day, Oordhvam is conducting free webinars. So, welcome to our webinar. And Oordhvam Ascending Yoga was established in 2019. The founders are Mr. Dr. Kaushik Rangarajan and Mrs. Dr. Subha, to spread yoga to everyone to fulfill their life. So they have together trained more than 500 students for various levels of yoga certification board by the Ministry of Ayush. So from October 2nd, we are starting YCB level 3 and 6. If you are interested, please contact Dr. Kaushik Rangarajan sir. I will give the number. Okay, now I will happily welcome Srimati or Ramya Murli ma'am. She is an experienced yoga practitioner and therapist. She is teaching traditional Hatha Yoga practices over 10 years in Sri Krishnamacharya tradition, and she is a founder of Samrakshana Yoga Kendra. She is an examiner in Ministry of Ayush, and she finished Varma healing level from APJ Yoga Foundation, and she also trained in naturopathy diet therapy. I am welcome Mrs. Ramya ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. A very, very happy morning to all of you. Yeah. So we have a group of close to 60 people here in today's webinar. I thank all of you here. Okay. Now the topic for today's webinar, I hope my audio and video is clear. In case of any disturbance, please let me know. Okay. So now today's webinar, the topic is for a healthy life. How do you incorporate naturopathy? So incorporating naturopathy in daily life or healing through nature. Okay. Now, before we get to understand what naturopathy is, we'll just see what actually health means. So next slide. So now we have this WHO definition of health, which says health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just merely the absence of any disease. So not all of us will have some disease or the other at any given point of time. We may be most of the times disease-free. We may not have a major full-blown disease at all points in time. So does that mean we are healthy? Many times the answer would be a no. So then we get to analyze, so what is lacking? Why don't we, feel really happy or healthy? So there are so many things that go into making a person being really healthy and disease-free. So that means you have to be healthy and happy at your physical level, mental level, emotional level, and spiritual level. So next slide, sir. Okay. So now in Ayurveda, we say being healthy is a balance between body, mind, spirit, and social well-being. So all these components are taken into account into Ayurveda. Now, Ayurveda, our Indian tradition, is rooted in Ayurveda. So it has its origin in Vedas. So right from times immemorial, from the Vedic ages, we have laid emphasis on all these components. Only now WHO has come up with all these, emotional, spiritual, all that. But we have been following, being in India, being rooted in this Indian tradition, we have been, our lives have been tuned to being, looking at health from all these perspectives. So this has been there from times immemorial. Okay. Now next slide, sir. Okay. Now, why should you be healthy? So what if if I have some aches here and there? So if I have some disease, so what is the issue? So when you are diseased, what happens, or when you have some aches and pains here and there, normally our entire mindset throughout the day, many times for most of us, what happens is we keep focusing only on the aches and pains. Oh, my hand is hurting. I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to. So you're not able to put in your 100% effort into what you actually want to do. Now, what is this body made up of, or what is the use of this life for life? This body is, so you have various goals, you have various interests and duties to perform, correct? So in Kalidasa, in his Kumara Sambhavam, he says, Shariram Adhyam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. So whatever our goal in life is, whatever your dharma is duty. For that, without a body, can we even perform? So you're not anything without your body. So you need the body. Body is the instrument, is the tool to perform your everyday activities, daily, for your daily life, to perform your duties as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter. So whatever your professional duties are, for everything, you need your physical body to be in good state. Not only physical body, when we say being healthy, of course, we take into account all the components that we just saw. So to be healthy, main thing is to do your responsibilities. And nowadays, in current day scenario, most of us cannot afford to, take bed rest, cannot afford to be off work for 10 days, 1 week. It just is not possible. So being healthy, though it is your right, it also is your duty and responsibility. So from that angle only, we are trying to learn how naturopathy can be incorporated into our daily lives so that we can be disease free. Next slide, sir. Okay. Now again, all of us are not going to be really perfectly healthy, 100% healthy. That may not be the case most of the times. So what do we do? Where do we start? So whatever your level of health is, so we try to preserve that so you don't deteriorate further. And for someone who has some issues, we try to overcome that, come to an acceptable level of being healthy, and then try to do your restorative practices so that you become near normal or really healthy. So this is what we are trying to do. In acute or chronic cases, of course, we will have to take the help of professionals. But in most of the cases, when you find there are some differences from your normal functioning of any particular organ or joint, whatever in your at your bodily physical level or mental level, there are many things you can do from home itself. So that will help you come over all the obstacles. So next slide, sir. Okay. Now we are getting into what naturopathy is. So we will understand what it is. A beautiful art. It is a science. Now, what does it do? As the name suggests, we are going to use nature, whatever is available in nature, to help us overcome the physical, mental, and emotional hurdles. So that is what naturopathy is all about. So you treat the person as a whole. It's a drugless system of healing. Okay. Now, it has its own concept of health and disease, not like what we see in the allopathic concept. Okay. Next slide, sir. So just to have a basic understanding, not that we won't be using much of it. Who would you credit as being the father of naturopathy? He was Mr. Benedict Lust, a German American doctor. He was an allopathic doctor who turned into naturopathy. He set up a few centers. He promoted naturopathy throughout his career. So there were also other Germans at that time So they were spreading. So this is about father of naturopathy in the world scenario. Now coming to Indian scenario, we credit, next slide, sir. We credit Mahatma Gandhi ji as being the father of Indian naturopathy. But if you actually carefully look at what has, next slide, sir. What has been happening, as I told you in the beginning, this naturopathy concept is well ingrained in our tradition, right from our Vedic period. So the various fasts, upavasas, and the cleansing techniques that we normally do as a part of everyday routine, our pujas. So many things, the Agnihotra, all that, the oil massages, oil baths that we have been doing from times immemorial, all that is naturopathy, is a part of naturopathy. Only thing is, in between, we have had probably for the past 20 years or so, we have had a large gap in there. We have left off all our ancient traditional practices. So though we call, we could credit Mohandas Gandhi to being the father of Indian naturopathy, but we would say that it has been a part and parcel of our everyday routine from time immemorial. So next slide, sir. Kaushik. Yes, sir. Yeah, so we have it in our Vedic practices, in our traditional practices, it has been all there. You have mention of various practices in our Vedic text, in our Upanishads. Next one, sir. Next slide. Okay, so this we finished. Mahatma Gandhi is considered along with Acharya Lakshmana Sharma and Kalyana Krishna Ramadas. They set up a few naturopathic hospitals, ashrams and all to propagate naturopathy. Yes, next slide, sir. Yeah, nowadays, this naturopathy has been, serious effort from the Indian government has been taken to introduce and promote naturopathy as a part of proper traditional clinical system itself. So now for a person to become a naturopathic doctor, you have to, it's a proper 5.5 years course. You have to, many colleges give admission only based on this NEET, clearing the NEET exam. So now it comes under Ayush Ministry. Now the title degree that you get is BNYS. So Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences. So when you talk about naturopathy, yoga is always a part and parcel of naturopathy. In fact, all traditional systems, be it your Siddha or Ayurveda, has a major part, yoga has a major part in all of these systems. Okay. So now, yeah, next. Of course, there are many researches going on in this particular system, but though researchers are there in Indian scenario, and whatever subject you take, the recording is not all that appropriate. So that is why we seem to lag behind. Though there are evidences, though there are proofs, we don't record it. So that is the need of the hour to prove the efficiency of these naturopathic systems. Okay. Now, under this naturopathy system, what they say is the cause of any disease is building up of morbid matter or toxins. So whatever, see, we could understand is like this way. See, we normally we have a bath every day. But then after 15-20 days, you still feel that, you have some dirt accumulated, in under the skin in some places like your armpit or your the back of the neck. You feel that you're not, all that clean. You feel that there is still dirt accumulated. Or you could even take the example of your house. You clean, you mop on a daily basis. But then 15 days once or monthly once, you do what is called a spring cleaning, because you find that dust is accumulated in the corners, which you normally miss out on a day-to-day basis. So you do this spring cleaning. So that similar concept is applicable to naturopathy therapies. So that is how, because it's for our understanding, we may question. So every day I'm having my bath, I'm passing my motion, I'm passing urine. So why do you say that toxins or morbid matter is getting accumulated? So if you look at it from this perspective, you will understand, though all the systems in the body are working efficiently throughout the day, throughout the year, you still will have some remnants. Okay, that accumulates. Where it accumulates will be the cause for your disease in that particular organ. So that we will know only when the symptoms come up. Okay, until then, there is toxin buildup happening. Okay, for even if you clean yourself, if you pass your all other systems are working properly, you will still have toxins accumulating. So that they call it the reason for all diseases. They call it the AMA. AMA is residual toxin matter. Okay. Now what that does, it changes the composition of your blood and lymph. So thereby causing all the symptoms. So that is why your blood readings and all will keep changing, will show up some diseases, some eosinophilia will be, ESR count will be higher, all that because all the toxin matters are going to affect your blood composition and lymph composition. The other cause, of course, now we are realizing the importance of that more, is a fatigue of the nervous system. One, too much or overload of sensory inputs, too much of stress, too much of whatever we do causes general fatigue, more so of the nervous system. So all these three play a major role in causing diseases. In yogic parlance, we also say disease is caused by improper Rakta Sanchara and Prana Sanchara. So if you understand this toxin principle, it will match to our yogic principle. So there is a blockage, Rakta Sanchara. So blockage in the flow of blood. There is blockage, obstruction in the flow of prana. Prana Shakti is your life force. So when there is an obstruction in these two, you will end up having a disease. Very similar to what naturopathy also says. Okay, next slide, sir. Okay. Now the main principle here is naturopathy, whatever the disease could be, whatever the symptom could be, okay, it could be diabetes or it could be hypertension or it could be any skin disease or ailment or just a rash. It treats the disease entirely as just one disease, okay. It could manifest in any number of forms, but it treats the disease as one accumulation of morbid matter or buildup of toxins is the cause of disease. Now, what is the cure? So when I know something is accumulated, it is causing some obstruction, I have to take it out. So that is the cure. So there is unity of disease and unity of cure. So removing all the unwanted toxic material is going to be the cure. Okay. So that is now all of us are very used to this term detoxification. So that is what naturopathy is all about. Okay. Next slide, sir. Okay, now we have a few principles based on which the treatment is done. So as I told you, it's going to be completely natural. So you're not going to harm yourself. Because many times when we take allopathic medicines, we immediately think about the side effects. Oh no, I'm taking this tablet. So what will be the side effects? Can I take for more than 10 days? Can I take continuously? All those questions crop up when we take up allopathy medicines. But when it comes to naturopathy, you can rest assured that you're not going to harm yourself any further. So whatever your level of health or fitness is there, that is definitely going to be maintained. You're not going to go down. So that is the first and foremost principle. Even if you're not helping in healing, you won't harm them. Okay, that is the first principle. Then the next main principle on which the entire system is based is the healing power of nature. So nature is very beautiful. It is the one that is giving us everything. It is the one that is sustaining us. So it also knows how to heal us. If we don't disturb nature and if we don't disturb our natural state of the body, it automatically will heal. The body will automatically heal and nature will provide for that. So that is the basic principle of healing. Now third principle is identifying and treating the causes. Causes could be anything, right from the way you conduct your everyday, the food that you eat. Of course, the earlier principle that we saw was unity of disease and unity of cure. But then there should be some aggravating factor in our daily routine that is going to cause the disease. So that is what is identifying and treat the causes. Say if I'm getting continuously a backache, maybe my sitting posture is not correct. So maybe my bed is not correct, or the entire day how I conduct my day. So we have to look at everything. So you look at the person as a whole, not only just one aspect. I'm not going to just look at my backbone, low back and say, oh, this is the problem here. No. So entire day, from the minute I wake up till the time I go to bed and how I sleep, which position, everything is taken into account. So that there comes the next principle of treating the person as a whole. You're not looking at just one symptom. Okay. Now, this is the last one major important point that we have to note. It is best used when it is going to be a preventive therapy. Okay, so once you get into a very, very, very chronic ailment, you may not expect that much result from naturopathic treatments. It will help, but then it will take a longer time. But if you use it as a preventive mechanism, then you can rest assured that you won't get into any of the diseases, or even if you get it, it will be at a very, very milder level, which you can handle easily at home. So prevention is the key. So you resort to naturopathy as a preventive mechanism. Okay, now all this you may ask, so what do we do? Sometimes there are things beyond our control, like that of accident or natural calamities or an epidemic condition. At those times, these naturopathic systems can be used as adjunct therapy. In normal allopathic setups also, nowadays doctors have started advocating these naturopathy treatments as adjunct therapy. For cancer, it is the best one. For most of the autoimmune disorders, there is till date, there is no proper cure in allopathy. Only naturopathy treatments gives the cure. Autoimmune conditions like psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so these two are the classic examples. You will not find a cure in any other system. Even our Ayurveda and Siddha, they try to help in containing. But when you resort to naturopathy, we find that many times it is cured. Of course, there may be 1 or 2% who've not cleared, but up to 95 to 98%, we find that naturopathy is the only system that cures most of the autoimmune conditions. Next slide, sir. Okay. Now, what does it use? The 5 elements of nature are the doctors. We use the natural elements, Panchabhutas, to treat the individual. So we find that we've been using the Panchabhuta technique all along without even realizing that we are doing naturopathy at home. Now, the purpose of today's session is to just reiterate the facts and reiterate the things that we can do, maybe a little more than what you've already been doing. That's the main focus. Now, when we do that on a day-to-day regular basis, you can be disease-free. So with that mindset, we have to approach today's webinar. Okay. So food is a medicine. You don't need any other external medicines. So in this naturopathy system, food is your medicine, whatever you take. So we heard so many statements and stories, no, what you eat makes the person. So of course, we also most of us, I believe, are from the yogic background. So we are familiar with the Triguna Tattva, whatever you eat, that's what makes you. And of course, now all of us are very, up to date with eating junk foods and not eating and how it's going to disturb all our systems. So all that we know. Now our focus is to how not to use them and how to get into better healthy practices. Okay. Now yoga or physical activity is going to help you channelize your, as I told earlier, the Rakta Sanchara and Prana Sanchara. So that has to be kept in order to be disease-free. And yoga is an active part of naturopathy therapy. Now we go into how are we going to use the Panchabhutas for our daily life, maintaining a healthy life, okay, in our daily routines. Okay, as we know, the Panchabhutas are Prithvi, Apa, Tejas, Vayu, Akasha. Now Prithvi is the earth element. So earth, directly we can understand that it is bhumi or mud soil, right? So how do we use it? Yeah, next slide, sir. The benefits of mud therapy. So mud therapy is very, very beneficial for generally relaxing your entire body for many skin conditions and for your digestive issues. These are the primary uses. Okay, now how do we use it? You're going to use mud only, that we know. So we take out mud, you just leave the topsoil, you dig 3 to 4 feet below the topsoil and take that soil because it's comparatively less polluted. Okay, that is the thing. The types of soil are also mentioned. It's black soil, and you have this clay soil is allowed, and this multani matti. In Tamil, we say the puttu manna. So the soil from the anthill or any termite mound that we take, you have to sieve it, let it or spread it out in the sun for drying, and then you can use that mud. Okay, now how do you make it? You mix it in water, normal room temperature water. So that mud, you can use it for your packs. There are many ways on how you can use it in our daily life. Okay, initially, only in naturopathic setups, we used to get this mud bath and all. So in the next slide, sir. Next slide. So we'll have the picture. Can we go to the picture? The next one, next slide. Yeah, so this is ideally in a naturopathic center hospital setup. This is how this mud bath is done. Because previously we used to get only in those mud in those centers. So individually procuring this was a little difficult. But now actually there are many naturopathic centers who are willing to, of course, for a fee, they are willing to send this mud for mud therapy. For individual, in a typical household, we will be using it for only for 1 or 2 persons. So we won't need lots. So for sufficient quantity for 1 or 2 persons, we can procure it even from the normal traditional Natu Marundu kada country medicine shop. You will get it. The other mud that you use is multani mud you can use. So that is very, very beneficial for your skin condition, psoriasis, for applying for your face. Now, when you apply it for your entire body, it cools your system, it hydrates your system, it takes care of the skin issues. Okay. So, and most of the, though we say it is mud therapy, it is using earth element. If you actually observe, we will use all the Panchabhutas in most of the individual therapies. So, okay. Now coming to how you can use it at home. This is one thing. If you have a terrace or if you have access to some open space, you can do this. Otherwise, what you can do is you get mud in small quantities. You just make a small pack, like, put it in a small muslin cloth or a small old towel, fold it. Just this size would be enough. So you're going to fold the towel into 4. Inside you put a layer of mud. Now you soak that in water, maybe for 10-15 minutes so that it absorbs the coolness of the water. Now you can leave it on. So you just, okay, once you take it out of the water, let the water drain. Leave it on for a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. So the excess water and all will drain out. Then you put it under your, below your navel, on your lower abdomen. Okay, this is the mud pack. In our normal centers, in our traditional naturopathic hospitals, this is what we give as mud packs. So mud packs, you can use it for your lower abdomen and for your eyes. Okay. The third place that you can put is over your throat. Now, when you put it over your throat and your abdomen, it's going to definitely work on your thyroid glands and helps for indigestion, for acidity conditions, specifically for all your menstrual issues. It's so, it uses immense in these menstrual issues. Okay. So it's very simple to make at home. You just need to have 1 or 2 handfuls of mud, procure it, put it under a cloth, fold the cloth, keep it in water, maybe for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, take it out, let the excess water drain out, and put it on your abdomen. It will hardly take, you can leave it on for 10 minutes. But best done on empty stomach. If not, maybe in the afternoon times. Try to avoid it during nights because it may aggravate the cold in your body. Okay, so this is how you use mud therapy at home. Of course, multani matti packs for the face and all, it's very useful. It's very easy to use. Most of you would have been doing it already. You mix it with rose water, multani matti. Just or 2-3 teaspoons would be enough to apply on the face. It's helpful for your acne and all the eruptions, boils and all. Now, yeah, next slide, sir. So this is about how mud therapy can be used at home. Now, hydrotherapy, the next, Prithvi, upper. Next element is your water element. Water element, all of us have been using it all along. The easiest and daily thing that we use is having a bath. So all of us have a bath. We have been doing this hydrotherapy on a day-to-day basis. Okay, now how are we going to add? even normal times, if we have observed, if there is any pain or aches, immediately we say you keep cold pack or you keep hot pack. So that also most of us are familiar with. So using water, different forms of water. It could be liquid, it could be hot water, it could be cold ice or steam. All these forms of water, when you use it to treat, it becomes your hydrotherapy. So especially beneficial for hydrating the body. It calms the minute you put your hand in cold water, your feet in cold water, it immediately calms your nervous system. You find that when children are having very high temperature, initially in olden days, that's what we used to do, no? Just put your in cold sponging we give. It immediately reduces the temperature. So for reducing body temperature, it is very useful. You know, the next thing that we will be seeing is fasting. So when somebody is fasting, they will have lots of headache. So again, you go with hydrotherapy, you put your feet in cold water, the headache that comes because of fasting. Even on days when you don't fast, if you don't have anything to eat or you're held up in your work or 3-4 hours more than that, if you're not eating anything, you've passed your lunchtime and all, many people get a severe headache. Okay, hypoglycemic headache. See. So in those conditions, again, you can soak your feet in cold water. Then immediately you find that headache comes down. So this, and okay, this is the normal use. Or whatever I've said now, most of you would be familiar with. In particular, so for every single organ, we can give an alternative hot and cold pack. The most useful that I personally find is the gastrohepatic pack. So you need to take 2 packs. One is your hot pack, the other one will be your cold pack. So just in the place where you have your liver, okay, just maybe end of your rib cage on the right side, you put your hot pack. Underneath that, on your back, you're going to put your cold pack and leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes. So this is your best gastrohepatic pack, which will be very helpful in fatty liver conditions. So this we can include at home. Similarly, for cleansing the kidneys, we actually have to talk lots about detoxification, which comes maybe after a few more slides. But please make a note of this. For this kidneys, we use, now hot pack will go back and your cold pack will come on top. Okay. So for liver, gastrohepatic pack, your hot pack is on top, bottom, on the back, you will put your cold pack. Now kidney, it's going to be the reverse. On your lower back, you will put hot packs. And in the front, on your lower abdomen, you will put your cold pack. So these two are very, very effective packs. Okay. Now for chest congestion, what can be done? You put hot packs over your upper back. So these three can be done at home. So in case you get any of these conditions or you have to detox on a regular basis, you can use this. Okay, next slide, sir. So next slide. Okay. There are other hydrotherapy techniques. See, few things we can do it at home. Few things we may not be able to do it at home. You'll have to go to a typical naturopathic setup. One is the hip bath. Hip bath, like from your abdomen, upper abdomen, till your upper part of the thigh, it has to be dipped in water. So what in an at a home scenario, what we can do is you can get a big tub. We also call it it's a big tub where you will be able to just sit. So when you can sit in that tub filled with water, it will be very similar to the hip bath tub that we have in the naturopathic setups. Now, what is this? One second, please. Okay, what this hip bath is going to do, it's going to be very, very relaxing for the pelvic area, for the lower back. So once you know where it is going to function, you can easily understand that it will help you relieve in back pain conditions and menstrual disorders. So this is a very, very useful practice which can be done at home. And also for piles condition, this is very, very useful therapy. So this hip bath, the thing that you see in the screen is a hip bath tub. You get it for as low as maybe 2,000, 2,500. You get a nice tub. You can have it at home also. It's very simple to use. It's not very heavy. If that is not possible, even the normal tubs that we use to keep our vessels, after drying, a plastic tub with no holes, you can use that. Simple as that. It's a very, very effective therapy. So these are the main conditions which will be helpful in this hip bath. Similarly, you have a spinal bathtub that also, if you want, you can buy. Otherwise, the plastic tub that I mentioned itself, you just have to move down a little bit so that your entire spine is resting in the water. Okay. Now for these both hip bath and spinal bath, depending upon the condition, you can use cold water, hot water, or normal room temperature water. If there is pain, you can use warm or hot water. If there is a lot of inflammation or muscle soreness, you use cold water. Generally, for menstrual issues, you can use normal temperature water for both your spinal bath and hip bath. Okay, next slide, sir. Yeah. Now the next one is arm and foot bath. So I'm explaining the ones that you can do at home. There are many other hydrotherapies which may not be doable at home. So that probably we'll have to look at it later, or you will have to go to a naturopathy setup. But these things you can do it at home. So again, you take a tub, fill it with hot water, cold water, again, depending upon the need. If there is a severe headache because of fasting, you can use cold water. Or if you have a high temperature, you can use cold water. Normal times, leg pain, leg strain because of overuse, prolonged standing. End of day, what you do, you take a warm water tub, you put a little bit of Epsom salt, soak your feet, your hands for 10-15 minutes. That is your arm and foot bath. So now we may not actually, when I explain or when I just look at the slides, you may not understand the real importance of these therapies. But when you actually do it, very simple, hardly will not take more than 10 minutes. Only then you will find the real benefit. Next slide. Okay, now this table explains the various hydrotherapy techniques. Okay, hip bath we've seen, arm and foot bath we've seen, immersion bath. Okay, fully immersing like that of a bathtub. Immersion bath. You also have this jet sprays. Of course, you can't do it at home. You'll have to go to a center. Spinal spray, steam bath. Okay. Steam, we have been using steam for our cold and cough conditions. All along we've been using it. Okay. Now, how do we do steam bath at home? So for one, you have this pressure cooker type ones with a rubber tube connected. You can make steam at home, and probably an induction stove or something. If the bathroom is small, you can use it so that the steam doesn't get wasted. You can use it at home. But another better and doable, much more easy and doable way would be, so in steam bath, we also take the use of certain herbs. So what you can do, a normal geyser water, you fill it in the bathroom. In addition to that, you take a pot of water, let it come for a boil, let it come to this rolling over boil. You add a few neem leaves or nochi leaves or 1 or 2 drops of eucalyptus oil, camphor oil, whatever anti-inflammatory, depending upon what your condition is. You add 1 or 2 drops of that water, then mix it with the water that you have for having a bath. So somewhat similar effect you will get to a steam bath when you do this. Okay, the water should come to a rolling over boil, then add these leaves, leave it on for a couple of minutes so that the essence sets into that water. Then you mix it with your normal bathing water. Next slide, sir. So next slide, please. Yeah, underwater massage, enema. Enema is another thing that we actually can do, but the first time at least you will have to learn it from a yogic practitioner or a naturopathic practitioner. We have small enema cans which can be used at home. So this is very useful for your colon cleansing. And in a naturopathic setup, we have what is called as the colon hydrotherapy. So that is a machine. It's a little cumbersome process. You will be doing it only in a naturopathic setup. So we'll skip that for now. Then you have this, okay, wet sheet pack, local body packs. This body packs, we all are familiar. Wherever you have any pain or inflammation or soreness, we have been used to keeping hot and cold packs. This ice pack for this any tendonitis, inflammation, ligament strain, it's very, very, very useful. You find, of course, you may take it in tandem with other allopathic treatments or physiotherapy treatments. But when you do this along with other treatments, you find that the intensity of the pain comes down very, very faster and you heal also faster. Okay, next slide, sir. Okay, and the next one, Tejas, sun, fire element. Of course, you do a lot of yogic practices to improve the fire element. And the one thing that we all know is having a sun bath. Traditionally, what we used to do on weekends, you apply oil, stand in the sun on the terrace, or just stroll around the balcony for 10 to 15 minutes so that you get the benefits of your sun bath, especially beneficial for your skeletal system and for your skin. But see to it that you don't get sunburn, or if you don't want to turn, you also have to take precautions for that. So then you'll have to limit the time of exposure. So this we have been doing it. When it comes to this sun bath, we also have now chromotherapy and all getting introduced under the naturopathic techniques. But as I told you, we will see what we can do from our home. So you can do oil massage, stand in the terrace, get yourself exposed to sun maybe for 15-20 minutes, then have a nice hot water bath. Yeah, next slide, sir. Okay, now for the air element, pranayama is the best technique. It will require one separate webinar in itself as a whole. But most of us, we have this yogic background. I don't think I'll have to explain much. So this pranayama is going to balance the prana flow. Next slide, sir. The last one is, okay, this massage therapy. Okay, so when we talk about air, the sparsha, the touch sensation comes into play. That is why we have included massage therapy under this air element. So massages also we have been using and practicing all along. Now, various ways of giving a massage, tapping, kneading, stroking, and mild pressure, intense pressure, using of thumb, using of knuckles, using of palms. There are so many ways in which you give a massage. So what we can do at home, just a mild massage with mild pressure using your palm. That itself should be enough for most of the issues. Okay, of course, at various levels, it's going to work, but more at very, very helpful. I mean, you very tangible effect at your muscular level. Now, the oils that you can use for massage, it could range right from your normal simple coconut oil, sesame oil. You could use a little bit of mint oil, tulsi oil, neem leaf oil, nochi oil. So many options are there. Okay, so what we can do on a regular basis, the oil massage that we used to have, oil bath that we used to have, now probably we've all, the current generation have left it altogether. So you go back to this oil massage, oil bath. Now what does it do? It's going to keep all the hormones functioning in proper order. So for most of the endocrine related issues, diabetes, even for your BP, your menstrual issues, your thyroid glands, improper sleep, insomnia, for everything, when you start taking this oil bath regularly, twice a week, it has proven and has shown immense results. Okay, so now how do you apply oil, especially for your head? See, there are three main positions where you have to focus on. One is the crown of the head. You want to give a nice massage for at least 1 minute. Sorry. And just behind the place where your ear ends, at this position for 1 minute, and the back of the place where your skull ends and your neck starts. So in this place, you're going to give a nice massage. At least 1 minute in each of these three positions. Now, under your armpits for 1 minute, around your navel for 1 minute, in your groin region for 1 minute, on your foot for 1 minute. So all these 1 minute massages. So it will probably come to a maximum of 10 minutes. So this we can do at home. Of course, if you are able to do for your lower back also, you can just apply. So massages in these points that I mentioned, application for your lower back also. So now you do this, then if possible, you can stay in the sun for 10-15 minutes and have a nice warm hot water bath. This is, the massage therapy that we can do at home. Now it will activate your lymphatic system. It will help in detoxification. And of course, as I told you, all the glands are going to be activated. Okay, next slide, sir. Okay, this is the major area where we have to focus. Now, everyone keeps saying intermittent fasting and dieting and all that. So there is a way. Fasting is willfully abstaining from food. So you're not starving because of lack of food. You are willfully abstaining. So the will to do a fast is of utmost importance. Otherwise, we will get into all sorts of, thinking about food the entire day. When you're fasting, you will get into headache, you will get into all sorts of aches and pains. Okay, now fasting, there is a method to do your fast. I mean, not at random. Okay, today I decide I'm going to go on a fast. So I will stay off food for 5 days. That doesn't work. Okay, so the minute you come out of the fast, you will go back to all the crap that you've been eating and you're going to toxify your system more than ever. Okay, so now how do you get into a fast? And the method to come out of a fast is more important than what you actually did during the fast. So initially, it's advisable if you take the consult of a naturopathic doctor or the naturopathic therapist or diet consultant, then you can get into fast. Ideally, what we normally do in a naturopathic setup is you taper down the cooked food. Okay, so the aim is to fast. We have a nice saying, Langanam Parama Aushadam. So fasting is the cure for most of the diseases. And the benefits of a proper diet is mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, in our yogic culture, in Bhagavad Gita also. Lord Krishna says, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. The first thing he mentions about food. So moderation in food is the key. Okay. Now, as I told you, fasting is like spring cleaning your entire internal organs. So when the body is light, it will have more time and energy to work on healing the other organs. Okay, rather than digesting the unwanted crap that we are putting in, the body can focus its energy and prana shakti flow to heal the other organs. Now, how is it done? I'll just explain it in a brief manner. Now I intend to go on a fast. Now this fasting really helps in weight loss. It beautifully works on detoxification. This is the best method to detoxify. So when we are looking at naturopathy treatment, we have to try to include all the modalities that I mentioned. So now coming to fasting again, we have been having cooked food all 3 meals. You have mid meals, intermittent meal, the snacks, all that has been happening. So you have to start cutting down on the cooked food portion first. You can still have full meal or up to your stomach, whatever good feels good for you, you can have. But then initially you start changing the composition of what you eat. So you fill your plates more with fruits, fruit salad, or vegetable salad, or if it's going to be cooked food, boiled vegetables, steamed vegetables, and take a lesser amount of cooked foods. Even your normal sambar and rasam and all, if possible, you can skip that. Instead, you take only boiled vegetables. So slowly you start doing the shift. Okay. Instead of your tea and coffee, you take so many detox juices are there. So in our slides, I have given a few juices for your reference. So when you look at it, it's most of it is self-explanatory. Few of the detox drinks through the day, you can start taking them. Maybe a tulsi water, infusion drinks, dhania water, jeera water. All this we all know, but you have to start doing it. So then this amla juice. Amla juice, it's beautiful. It builds your immunity and it also helps in detox. Then this you can include this murunga leaves. Then we have this especially for your sugar, we suggest this turnip juice, nulkul. So juice of turnip in between the day, maybe after your lunch and before your dinner, somewhere in between, if you take this turnip juice, it's very, very effective for weight loss and for healing the entire your gastrointestinal tract. Your ashgard juice is going to be very effective. Okay, now next slide. Next slide, sir. So fasting is not going to drain out your energy. It will, in fact, energize you because you will be we design the day and we fill the day with so many juices and fruits and salads and all, so you won't feel drained out. Okay. Now, the first step I saw was to come out of cooked foods and to include more raw vegetables and fruits. Okay. So this will be 1 or 2 days. The third day, if possible, you even cut out on the cooked part. You can take out this because all your fruits and vegetables will also have this carbohydrates. Now, our understanding is we need carbohydrate for energy. We need carbohydrate to do our duty. So to take the entire day on. So that's the general tendency. But we also have to understand that your fruits and vegetables also have carbohydrates in them. So don't worry about the carbohydrate part. But one thing is, when you're actually fasting, don't overexert yourself physically. Rest is also important. So you cut down on the carbohydrate and cooked food part. When I say carbohydrate, it's not just carbohydrate, even the cooked food. So try to take under this naturopathy system, I'm saying. So you try to take more and more of fruits, raw vegetables, raw fruits. You can take fruit juices. You can make soups, vegetable soups. You can include lots of sprouts. So sprouts will be filling. And of course, you open that, you have so many sprouts, salad options. So you add a pinch of lime juice, a pepper, and a jeera powder to that. It gives a beautiful flavor. It's very crunchy. It's filling. So all that you have to mix and match. So through the day, the only thing when you're getting into a fast is you have to be mentally prepared, and you have to have the ingredients ready before you move into a fast. So slowly, when you start doing this, first 2 days, little amount of cooked food, carbohydrate will be there. Next 2 days, you avoid that cooked food part. You still can have the number of meals that you want to, but then slightly reducing the portions, and also the nature. You're not cooking your food, try to go to natural foods. Okay, in between you can have a fistful of seeds and nuts. Now, coming to your 5th day, try to introduce, just take fruits and fruit juices, say a lime juice, and you can fill up 1 or 2 bottles of lime juice, infused water with cucumber and mint leaves. So that keeps you refreshing through the day. Maybe 1 or 2 spoons of honey you can add into that. You can take tender coconut water. You can have buttermilk. So the 5th and 6th days can be like this. In between, if you're hungry, you can have a bowl of salad, vegetable salad or fruit salad. Then probably on the 7th day, you can go for only juice fast. Okay, juice fast, not heavily caloric value juices. You have to skip that. Maybe light, thin juices to keep you energized through the day. Those of a juice like coconut water, lime juice will help. Okay, that can be your 7th day. Then you go back in the reverse order, like how you did on your 6th day, 5th day, and go back to day 1. So slowly, when you come out of the fast, it has to be like that. So 7th day, if it's going to be a full juice fast, 8th day, immediately don't go for a full course meal. It has to be soft introduction, introducing only soft food, bland food, and then slowly include all the shadras, as we say, 6 days. You can slowly improve and go back to your normal food. But you also have to remember, so once you've fasted, you have understood the benefits of fast. Don't again go back to that extreme stage again, taking in lots of spices and fried items and all. Don't go back to that. So anyway, then you have to keep doing this again and again. Okay. Now, ideally, you start with this 7-day fast. Then the fasting day, the juice day that I told, you can increase it to 2 or 3 days. If it's going to be a longer fast, if you want to do a juice fast or water fast for 7 days and all, it has to be done strictly under medical guidance only. Okay, we will not try that at home. Right. So this is about fasting. Yeah, next slide, sir. As I told you, the effectiveness of the fast depends on how well you come out of the fast. That is very, very important. Next slide, sir. Yeah, we can also include raw vegetable juices in your fast. If you like, you have lots of green smoothies, vegetable juices, all that can be included. Okay, now diets we classify into 3 types. One is eliminative diet. All these juices and drinks will be under the eliminative diet. When I told about the fruits and vegetables, with boiled food, boiled vegetables, steamed vegetables, all will be nourishing diet. Constructive diet, including more of sprouts, vegetables, and fruits. Okay, next slide, sir. Next slide. Yeah. Yeah, these are all self-explanatory. I want you to go to the next slide, sir, please. Yeah, next one. Okay, now in this table, we will be, I think, sharing the PPTs also for your reference. So on the left side, you have the various systems of the body. on the right side, you have the foods that are going to nourish it when the foods are the main. So there is a separate system of medicine that is coming up now. People find it effective as well. It's called the vegetable healing, vegetable medicine. So Kaigari Vaidyam. That depends on your individual constitution. Any traditional system works on individual constitution, like Vata, Pitta, Kapha, what the person is made up of. Okay. And the soil or the bhumi that which you belong to, your genetic makeup, of course. And if I have been born and brought up in the southern part of India, and my parents, my lineage, my ancestors, everyone has been in this part, I have a tendency to absorb nutrition from what's grown in this particular part of the country. So that is what I've mentioned in this food column. The first one, raw plantain, is very good for cardiovascular system. So now the first vegetable that I've mentioned, you please, generally also it is applicable, but it's more applicable to southern part of India and the plains. So you'll have to look at it from that perspective. So these vegetables, in all the columns, you will find that the first vegetable, you either take it raw, make it into a juice and have it early in the morning. That is going to cure the diseases of that particular system. You can have other vegetables also, but if you have to work on your cardiovascular system, see if my cardiovascular system is not functioning effectively, how will I improve it? So if I have to work on that, the best vegetable that I can use is raw plantain. It should not be a very ripe one or hard variety. So soft, we call it the pinchi, the small ones. You take that and then you can even steam it, then grind it, mix it with a little bit of water you can take, or just steam it and take this raw plantain. So that is the first vegetable mentioned against each and every system. That is how you use it for nourishing that particular system. So now for your skeletal system, coconuts are going to be very useful. For your digestive system, ash gourd, Vella pushnika, that's very helpful. For your nervous system, cluster beans, kottavaranga. Next slide. So you go through these slides, you will understand the importance, and please focus on the first vegetable that I've mentioned. For your endocrine system, for your glands, lady's finger and lemon, both are very, very useful. For your lymphatic drainage system, red gourd, pirkangai. Excretory system, mainly for your kidneys, brinjal is very effective. For your skin, they say this kovakai, ivy gourd. Reproductive system, you have this. Of course, traditionally we've been saying the flower of a plantain tree. This snake gourd is also very, very effective for your reproductive system. For your muscular system, yellow pumpkin, arasanikai or manja pushnika we see. And next one for your respiratory system, murunga veda, murunga seeds and leaves are very, very useful. Yeah, next slide, sir. Okay, now these are all very self-explanatory. Now, having nourished each and every individual organ system, how do you revitalize yourself? We were also talking about the fast. So when you come out of the fast, you have to include all these revitalizing diet slowly, not everything, not on one single day. Slowly, you just start including one after the other. You include all the 6 rasas. So whatever you've been having earlier, of course, less spicy, less oily, everything else you can slowly include in your diet. But at any given point in time, there should be more of fruits and vegetables. Next slide, sir. Yeah, these are all general dietary suggestions. You can go through them. It's very self-explanatory. Next slide, sir. So this is all what I had to give in this webinar. The main thing of what all of the traditional systems, even nowadays allopathy also insists on that, you will eat only when you're really hungry. Don't eat because it is time to eat. No, that should be definitely avoided. You eat only when you're really hungry. Okay. And avoid overeating. At all given points in time, whenever you're having a meal, you have to fill only 1/4 of your stomach with, or half of your stomach with food, 1/4 with water, 1/4 leave it empty. And if you're also looking at detoxifying and reducing weight, you'll have to drink water 15 to 20 minutes before your meal and only 15 to 20 minutes after your meal. in between the meal, if you feel, it's so hard, if you feel like having water, you can have sips of water. But many people, you find that immediately after a meal, they go on drinking gulps of water, 1.5 liter, they'll finish at one go after the meal. That has to be avoided. In between food, if you want to drink water, please go ahead, drink water, nothing to stop it. But lots of water, if you have to eat, please take it at least after 15 to 20 minutes. In between, you can just keep drinking sips of water. Okay, next is the rest. Most of us know, avoid processed food, junk food and all. Okay, so these are all easy breakfast options that you can come up with. Yeah, one important, see, all these things, therapies that we talk about is to prevent lifestyle diseases. Majorly, we find India is becoming the capital of diabetes. Every single girl child you find, they say, I have PCOD issues, and lots of infertility issues are coming up. So all these naturopathy techniques, the packs, the hydro pack, is beautifully helping in PCOD, menopausal issues, and infertility issues. Before I finish, I just want to reiterate, applying castor oil around your navel and giving nice alternate hot and cold packs. Okay, because most of our participants, being women, being in the 40 to 50 age group, I think this would be a very, very useful information. You can apply castor oil around your abdomen, on your lower abdomen. Okay, you apply, leave it on for 5-10 minutes with hot pack. Okay, so alternate bit with cold packs. So morning you use castor oil hot pack, then later in the day probably you can use just a cold pack. So when you do this, it helps in your fibroid conditions, in your PCOD. It also improves your fertility condition, along with regular oil bath. So when you do these two, we can manage all the menstrual issues very, very beautifully. So yeah, this is it. Weight loss drink, immunity booster, all these are self-explanatory. Now I've crossed my time limit. I think we will be sharing the slides, so you can use it as reference. I have also given my number at the end of the slide. So for any questions, you can put it across to Kaushik ji or to me directly. Yeah. So before I finish, I would like to really thank Shri Kaushik ji for giving me this opportunity. So for me to give up a few points regarding this naturopathic lifestyle, I hope I passed on a few useful information to all of you. Thank you. Thanks very much. Over to you, Kaushik ji and Kritika ma'am.
Now we can take up the questions. Simrat ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. So do we have any questions, Kritika ma'am?
Yeah, Simrat ma'am.
Yeah, namaskar. I just want to know that, like saying that we should take food according to like 5 elements. So, could you please suggest us that what kind of food we take in the morning or in the mid noon, like 12 to 3 o'clock? As someone saying that between 12:30 to 2 and 2:30, you must take the food which are like getting more sun, like millets, pulses, not take the air food grown on like plants and all, like if we like say vegetables and all kind of food, so that should be divided. I'm just like little bit confused that what kind of food I may take in my lunch, what kind of food I may take in my dinner. So please clarify it.
Always dinner has to be light. Okay, and so that you understand, no, it has to be light. So what are the foods that are light for you? You can choose that. So there is, according to naturopathy, if you see, there is nothing like, no, you don't take anything that are available naturally is good. When you're actually looking to cure certain ailments, then you have all these restrictions. Okay, so don't eat this, don't eat that, only when you're actually curing any disease. For generally, as we saw, revitalizing diet, you can take anything, reduce the quantity of cooked food. Naturopathy is all about eating raw, maximum possible level. Okay, but when you look at Ayurveda, they say at least you blanch it or you steam it, so that the toxins from the raw food also they want to eliminate. So we specifically don't say you don't eat this or you don't eat that. One thing you have to remember is we call it the neer kai or neer vegetables, the one which has lot of water content. So if I am a kapha prakriti, or I have a tendency to, bloat and lot of water mucus is there in my body, then try to avoid this watery food during night's dinner. Otherwise, you can take whatever you want to during the daytime. Typically, if you can include lots of spinach during daytime, it is good. Have I answered your question?
Yeah. But I have another question that I'm like the tendency of pith
What?
tendency,
Pitta.
acidity. Yeah, pitta.
Yes.
So what kind of food I may take, like in a daytime or a night? Usually, like I take fruits and seeds in the morning and
Yes.
dry fruits.
Mm.
But up in the morning or in the mid of the like morning to noon, I take salads and all that.
Yes.
But in the like in my afternoon meal, I have one vegetable, dal, and chapati. Chapati of millets, not of this gehu and gluten, all
Okay.
gluten free. But I'm a little bit confused because not always I'm interested to have soup and sprouts in the night. Sometimes I take khichdi. So in the night, I little bit confused that what to take, because it becomes
Yeah.
like boring every time I take soup of like drumstick soup or any tomato soup or this thing. So please suggest us some good.
You can take boiled vegetables. You can take steamed vegetables. You make a dal with sabji. You can take that. Only thing, you reduce the carbohydrate. Take early dinner. So you can work with whatever suits you, whatever interests your tongue. Also, it should not get boring. So there lies your creativity. One. Second one, not necessarily that you have to definitely take soups. Okay, instead of soups, that's what I'm saying. You just in South we take what is called a scooter. What you dal with sabji, okay, something like that, very similar to that. You can take that. You reduce the portion of your carbohydrates. We also you can take poha, all the dal variety pulses. You mix it and make it into, we call it the adai. I don't know what you make it in or not. So that you can make. You soak the moong dal ka dosa. Very, it's a rough translation of what we do. So all the sprouts, you may grind that into a batter and then make dosa types for your night dinner. You don't have to necessarily stick with your soups and salads. You can take soups and salads to, feel full. Okay. Your ragi khichdi, all millet khichdi you can take, but reduce the amount of cooked food. You add your soups and salads to your little bit of khichdi. That will help. You will feel full. Yeah.
We'll take two more questions from Mala ma'am and Chandra ma'am. If still the participants have questions, please put it in the group. The group will be open. The forum will be open. And we have also shared the numbers of Ramya ma'am. We can just contact her in WhatsApp directly as well. Mala ma'am.
Yeah. This green and old manuscript. They have taught issues.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible,
Yeah.
ma'am. Mala ma'am, your voice is not audible. If you can type, we can help you. Chandra ma'am.
Yeah.
Mala ma'am,
Audible.
type it because it is not audible. Chandra ma'am.
Chandra ma'am.
Yes.
I have one is in the cold country. So most of the food is like heating up. So what are the food to be taken? And the second question is, at what age can we introduce fasting to children? Because nowadays the children are hyperactive.
Maybe right from 5 years. See, what we practice at home is what children follow at home. So if as a household you have the habit of fasting, they will take on to it very easily, right from as young as 3 years and 5 years. So you can introduce, but then let them not starve, because the growing children, they will need, energy. So you can substitute with fruits and fruit juices, So introduce more of that. Probably you can give them just 1 cup of boiled vegetables or something. Avoid carbohydrates for them. So that itself will be good. So when they are mentally mature to take up the fast, that they will eventually do at a very, very early age if the entire household is doing that. So you can start. So maybe 7, 8 years also, if you find children doing that. So typically in our traditional households, we've seen Ekadasi fast has been happening. You fast once in 15 days or once a week. You take up a fast for religious reasons. You find kids in those households also doing those fasts. So it's not difficult. So you can start. Yes, ma'am. What was the next question? About
in the cold
living in
country.
cold condition. See, the foods, that is that's why I said you have to look at the place, the environment that you're staying in. So in cold places, you can take some amount of tubers. So that will, preserve the fat and, give out a little bit of heat. Generally, when we talk about sattvic diet, we avoid garlic. But there and all, you can take a little bit of garlic, foods that are going to heat up. So all the kashayams that we, so many drinks that we have, kashayam juice, omam, all that will increase the heat in your body. You want something to heat up or reduce? What were you asking?
But in spiritual world, they say not to have garlic. So
Yes,
how
that
to
is what I
balance
said.
it?
If it's going to be a full sattvic. Instead, you have so many herbs, like you have tipili, you have this, even the betel leaves, you have ginger, chuku powder, all that will heat up your system. So not necessarily you have to stick to garlic. That would probably be the last resort because it also increases tamas. So it can be avoided. Without that, we have so many herbs that you can add, make it into a decoction and take that. Yeah, a hot
Thank
one.
you very much. It was
Thank
very
you.
informative.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You said about nature of healing, like Panchapuda technique, food, diet, yoga, etc. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful session. If any doubts means, please share in the group. And on the auspicious day, 2nd October, Vijayadashmi, we are starting a new batch for a level 6 and level 3. If you are interested, please contact Mr. Kaushik sir. I will share in the chat box number. Okay. Now we end the session, ma'am.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Kaushik ji, once again. Thanks everyone for your active participation. Thank you, Kartika ma'am.
Okay, let us end the session with prayer. Sit straight, hands in chin mudra. Concentrate on your breathing. Sarvesham swastirбhavatu. Sarvesham shantirbhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly rub your palms. Feel the warmth. Keep it on your eyes. Massage your face. Slowly open your eyes and see the palm with big smile. Thank you. Thank you, Ramya ma'am. Thank you all.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Ramya.
Thank you. Thanks.